and welcome to the 10th Revolution Group Tech Success Podcast, where we bring you insightful conversations with industry-leading tech professionals. My name's Katherine Lord, and today I'm joined by Amarjeet Pal from Advania, and we are talking ServiceNow. A warm welcome to you. Would you like to let our listeners know a little bit more about you, your career history to date, and then we can talk about how to stay ahead in the ServiceNow ecosystem?
First of all, thank you, Catherine, and 10th Revolution, And about myself, I am Amarjeet Pal, and for inviting me to this podcast. As you all know, like my ServiceNow community member, I am a community member. So I also do a podcast. So people are aware of my face, I think. So I'm a platform architect in Advania, which is based out of London. And we are more into Nordic region like Sweden, Finland, Iceland, like
Okay.
that type. So our parent company is there. So they wanted to make a presence in UK. So they bought this company. Previously, it was called Content Plus Cloud. So a lot of ServiceNow professional knows me. Like I have belonged to Content Plus Cloud, but now it's been like 1.5 year. It has changed to Advania UK. So there I'm a platform architect, and Advania UK is a leading partner of Microsoft, and we have a MSP instance of ServiceNow. It's a domain separated instance, and we support around more than 200 clients. So
Oh,
being
wow.
a platform architect, Catherine, it's a the daily things is like take care of the clients. There are different implementations, so we don't focus on only one module, and
Mhm,
we focus on a lot of modules. And before that, I was in Cognizant, multi-leading national company, and I was in
mhm.
India. And it's been 3 years. I moved from Cognizant to Advania UK, and I moved the country as well. So right now I am in UK from last 3 years, and it's a great, culture, the work culture, the vibrant energy which I get from the UK. So it's really great to, be here and enjoy the weather. I can say this time the weather is also good, and everything. I feel being blessed here, because meeting a lot of people, connecting with people, networking with them, and being at your podcast now. So it's great.
Amazing. Well, warm welcome. And ServiceNow, that's obviously a rapidly evolving platform with new features and updates. I think there's quite a lot of people that have moved from other vendors even to work for ServiceNow. It seems to be on a bit of a growth journey. So, how can young professionals stay up to date with the latest advancements and ensure their skills remain relevant and in demand across sort of ServiceNow?
That's really a fantastic question, and honestly, like it's this question has been asked to me by a lot of professionals whenever I go to their podcast as well. So this question is like a first question, how you guys keep yourself intact, being such a demand thing, because if you think about the young professional, they always think about it. Let's say if I join this technology, how I will be, up to date in this technology. And as you know, as you said, Catherine, the platform is evolving so quickly, new releases, new modules, and everywhere we are talking about now AI, agentic AIs, So ServiceNow is never, back of it. It always there in the front, So I always recommend starting with the Now University. Previously, it was called Now Learning. It's ServiceNow official training portal. So there you get, it's an hub of learning. So any person who needs to start their career, the young professional, they can go to the Now Learning. In a year, ServiceNow do open the website for free, so they can take their trainings for free, and they can do some certifications. And basically the next part is like earn the certification and try to maintain it as well. So ServiceNow every year brings two releases, and ServiceNow gives we have to give the Delta exam as well to keep yourself updated. The next thing is we talk about releases and product documentation. So we need to take care of the releases. What are the new things have come, into the new releases. Now the Zurich release have not yet come. Australia and Brazil, people are talking about the next two releases. So we are talking about 2027. So always product and documentations are available. ServiceNow's is there on the docs.servicenow.com. So they have their own documentations, so we need to be updated in that. And obviously, like this, as we are engaging right now, engage with ServiceNow professionals. Do listen to such kind of podcasts. We need to follow them on the LinkedIn and try to engage what new technology is coming. And at the
Yes.
end, being a ServiceNow community member, so anytime it's for free, you can join the ServiceNow community, Catherine, and you can try to answer a lot of questions which so all the modules are there properly, and people try to help each other. So being a vibrant community,
Yeah.
it becomes very easy to connect with people here.
Yeah, it's a really warm ecosystem which where you get support as well, which is really nice to see. And I think it's always been probably historically quite difficult to recruit in service now. There's only a finite amount of kind of professionals that are experienced within that kind of platform. So it will be interesting to see how that talent shortage gap is sort of bridged really. So yeah, interesting. So many leaders sort of face moments of doubt or imposter syndrome. How have you managed self-doubt and overcome feelings of insecurity throughout your career? You're obviously having a successful career today. You've managed to maneuver countries, etc. So tell us a little bit more. Give us some tips.
That's again a really important, and like one thing, a lot of us, especially in tech world, if we talk about the tech world, they can relate to us, self-doubt, and as you talk about imposter syndrome, so these are very real in this world, and definitely we need to share. And thanks for asking this question. And what helps me a lot is like reminding myself my growth, and taking that part and going from the discomfort. So every time I felt unsure whether I was speaking last year, at the event. So we have a World Forum event which is there in the next month. So every year it is there of ServiceNow event. So I was a speaker in that. So when I was speaking at that time, or being a 10 years of experience in ServiceNow, leading a complex ServiceNow implementation, or at the time when I was launching my own podcast, Coffee with Amar. So I felt like what will happen, I never care about it. I thought like the growth is all about leaning from the discomfort, and try to backing away from it, from the discomfort. So that's the thing. And I always surround myself with challenging people, Catherine, and mentors, peers like even going into other podcasts and trying to do the podcast, and like we talk about it, the other guests also come of the podcast. It always helped me value from different perspective. I understand, I try to see from the different perspective. And
Yeah.
honestly, sharing knowledge has been a game changer, when I teach or mentor others. So I am there on TopMate, on various websites I am there. So people directly connect with me. So which
Great.
reminds me from where I belong in the room. And lastly, like I have learned to celebrate the small wins, whether
Yeah.
doing a podcast with you for a 10th
Oh,
revolution, getting nominated for the 10th revolutions awards,
yes.
digital awards.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so
Yes.
when we are chasing the big goals, Catherine, I feel acknowledging these little victories builds confidence over time. So everyone who is listening to this podcast, imposter syndrome can happen to anyone. It's normal and doesn't define your capability. Keep showing up, keep
Yeah.
learning, trust that you're growing, and even when it feels uncomfortable, discomfort is
Yeah.
the key, I can say.
Absolutely. No, no, no. I'm totally behind that. And actually, in some ways, a little bit of imposter syndrome sometimes makes you a bit more personally accountable as well. So I think like as long as it doesn't define you, then yeah, no, it's something that we can all overcome, I'm sure. So mental and emotional well-being, sort of they're crucial obviously for sustained success. How do you prioritize self-care, manage stress or burnout in a demanding role? There any practices or habits that you could kind of give to the audience that they could follow?
So I will start like being from Asian country like India. So we do a lot of yogas in our country. So that's a small thing,
Mhm.
whenever the big meetings are there. So I try to stretch out. So, and I have a double story house, like a typical UK house right now. So I have set up my own, what do you
Little
say?
personal gym?
No, not personal gym. I can say personal office. I can say it is in my bedroom itself. My wife does not wants me to go anywhere, so I have not. I have built my office in my bedroom itself because it's a little bit big bedroom. So whenever
Good.
what we do is like whenever we have to eat something, we have to go down. All the time. So that kind of little bit
Oh, I
stretches
can
also
imagine. Yeah.
means a lot for us. But you're right. Such an important topic where like high pressure roles like ours, a mental and emotional well-being isn't just like nice to have. It's foundation to sustain success, as you said.
Hmm.
For me, self-care is like have some boundaries. Let's say uh, if it is 6 p.m., from our office, so I try to disconnect from our Outlook or Teams, whatever the message is there. If it is a short disconnect, also from that, I can give some time to my family, So basically, turning off the notifications after the hours, and these small things also make a lot of differences in the
Yeah.
relationships, or spending time with our close ones. But I also prioritize routine and reflection. I start my day with a short walk so I can bring some
Mhm.
groceries. So like market is like 5 to 6 minutes away from our house, so I try to don't drive. Basically, I try to go by walk, and where I get a space to think what exactly in the morning I have to do,
Yeah.
what are the meetings I have to do. So prioritize the work, and like
Yes.
talking to peers, mentors, I said, even the
Yeah.
guest on the podcast doesn't feels like I'm not alone in this, things. So we always face stress. Sharing those experiences helps, and normalize it.
Yeah.
And finally, Catherine, I try to be an active, whether it's a quick, I said, yoga or stretching between, up and down in the house. So this movement clearly brings my heads and boosts my energy, basically. So
Yeah.
I can say this is good. Like self care isn't one size fits
Yeah.
all, but for me, it's
Yes.
about mindful, staying connected,
Yeah.
and giving myself permission to pause, like
Yes,
turning off notifications.
absolutely. It's a bit like when you do meetings and you're walking with a colleague, actually, you sometimes get more inspiration from it, don't you? And I find the same where when you're commuting, it's sometimes easier. There's that boundary between home and kind of work and a decompression on the way home as well. Rather than I think it's quite tough when you're working from home, you see. I find boundaries harder then. That's why I struggled a little bit in COVID because everything merged and I was trying to be everything to everyone, absolutely exhausted by the end of it. But I really like those
You
tips,
guys are more
especially.
people person. You guys are more people person. You cannot do work from home. I know that.
Actually, I do like meeting people in person, and like I did with you in May at the
Right,
DRAs,
right.
absolutely. And I like the peer-to-peer kind of support, etc., because actually a lot of challenges can be quite similar, and if people kind of drop the competitiveness, you can actually gain a lot from your peers and kind of be able to implement the same thing even if you're working for different firms and there's slightly different end goals. So no, I totally get it. I really appreciate your input. I look forward to tracking your career as well, especially the world of service now, which seems to be kind of erupting across the UK market at the moment, which is
Yeah.
brilliant to see. And yeah, I look forward to welcoming you back in the future as well for more tips. Thanks very much for joining
Sure, sure.
us.
Catherine, thanks for the opportunity. This kind of conversation, are so important, and I'm really grateful to be part of it. Whether talking to you or anytime, talking to you is a fun all the time.
Amazing. All right. Have a good day. See
Thank
you.
you. Cheers. Bye.